So many stories to tell, so many more to come. Hello all, and you're very welcome to the Isle of Man TT. We have a cracking show coming your way tonight. Not one, but two world-class road races. Last night, we had a Supersport TT, and no one here could have guessed the outcome. That's coming a little bit later on. First up, though, it's the Superstock TT. That's our feature race in the show tonight. Before we get going, let's have a look at what's happened and what's due to happen. Bruce got off to that wonderful start on Sunday with the Superbike TT. The Birchall brothers, Ben and Tom, have come back from a tough year to win TT number 2 in the sidecars. I won't tell you who won the Supersport race because we're going to show you that later in the show. The Superstock race was moved to lunchtime today. Wednesday starts with the one-lap TT0, followed by the second race for the 600s, then the final sidecar race of 2015. Friday starts with the lightweight TT. This basically has replaced the 250 class and is for 4-stroke twin-cylinder bikes with a water-cooled engine of up to 650cc. The senior TT closes the show here on the island on Friday. And there is the starting gate. Can you imagine the nerves when you're lined up there and you're just looking all the way down towards Bray Hill, knowing what's in store? Terrifying. Usually the governor of the island isn't walking up the middle of the track. Usually Steve Blader isn't here reminiscing. Steve, what is it like looking down there ready to head off?
There's no feeling in the world like it. You know, you're sat here full of nerves, concentrating on the start, getting off the line good. But in all fairness, once you let go of that clutch and get rolling, all those nerves have gone. You concentrate on what's coming next, which, first of all, of course, is the amazing Bray Hill.
Oh, it just must feel amazing. Let's talk about the Superstock race today, though. What an open field there, difficult one to call yet again. What are your thoughts?
Open field, of course. It's going to be a big fight. I think the main three will be Michael Dunlop, depending on his fitness. You've got Bruce Anstey, always on form in this class, and of course Hutchie, who's got himself back up the top there and been going really strong through qualifying all week. Also, Lee Johnson is coming off a good win at the Northwest 200, full of confidence in this class. And of course, not just that, the manufacturers are all fighting. You've got Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, BMW. They all want to win, whether they're using Metzler or Dunlop.
I actually just met Lee Johnson in the toilet there, and he said he was a bit disappointed he didn't get a better result yesterday. We'll talk about that a bit later on. That's in the Supersport race. But let's focus on the Superstockers. It's a class, I suppose, that levels the playing field a little bit. Here is the form guide.
The Superstock class, a notoriously difficult class to predict, really, because these things can be built for about 15 grand and a lot easier to set up round here than a superbike. More riders can get them the way they want them. So, here's my picks. First up, Michael Dunlop. He's won in this class a couple of times before. He's only had 2 laps on the BMW this week and he's already faster than anybody else in this class. And he also wants to win more than anybody else, I think. Ian Hutchinson, he's got 8 TT wins, fiercely determined this week, and he's on a bike that he loves, and he also has won in the Superstock class previously. Bruce Anstey, he's another previous winner in this class. He's had a storming week so far. He seems to be on real form and he loves the Superstock class. Gaz Johnson is a rider who sees the Superstock class as his best chance of a win this week, even though both his previous TT wins have been in the Supersport class. He's a rider that loves the big bikes. The only bugbear for me would be whether he has got over that slide up at Guthrie. Dave Johnson is another rider who loves the Superstock class. He finished 4th in it last year and lapped it over 128 miles an hour on a Kawasaki. He's BMW mounted this year and loves the bike no less, and you can never discount him from a rostrum. It's relatively easy to construct a competitive Superstock bike. Consequently, it's difficult to pick, and consequently, it's going to be a cracking race.
It's quite a sight, isn't it? All the Superstock machines lining up here on the Glencutchery Road. I suppose it's a class that most of you bikers at home can relate to, and from a manufacturer's perspective, it's perhaps the most important class, as these bikes are most similar to the ones they're trying to shift from their showrooms. It's a really interesting class. All the usual names will feature, but it often throws up quite a few surprises. So let's get in the thick of it. Let's hear from the riders.
You know, Superstock's always been a decent class for us, apart from last year. But bike's good, I'm good, GB Moto team's working hard. and everything else, you know, see how we get off the line. We haven't had a lot of time on the bike and a lot of things new on it, but I'm happy and confident.
At the end of the day, we just need to batter on now and just get our head down and say, I know I'm quick in this class, I'm quick in every class, it just hasn't really worked out for me yet this week, so it's a bit disappointing.
I think we're as lucky as we can be now, sort of. I'd like to see a checkered flag at the end of this one. Hopefully if we can string a race together, it'd be nice. But no, it's been going well so far as a stock bike in qualifying. A few issues, but get his head down and see where we are.
Dave, this by most people is seen as your class. Brilliant ride last year.
Yeah, I'm up for this. Obviously a bit nervous now, but yeah, this is the biggest chance I've got this year, I think, for a podium or better, so I'll just do my best, see how we go.
One word, possible, 10 wins would be good.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, any win's good. I think this race will be really hard, but I love riding this bike, and we'll just get stuck in.
So here we go, the Superstock TT, 4 laps of the mountain course, 1 pit stop. Michael Dunlop back there starting the third, looking for his hat-trick of wins in the class on his own bike. But it's this man, John McGuinness, who leads them out, and a lot of fans around the mountain course hoping this is when his TT really bursts into life. To talk us through it, James and Steve.
4 laps Superstock machines from the showroom as such. 4 laps of this, 150 miles again, fastest lap 2013, 131.22 from Michael Dunlop. That was some lap. Number 1, John McGuinness sets off, and there he goes on the very smart machine out there, isn't it? It's the
EMC, it's a team he's put together himself with a new sponsor, EMC and Data Gathering. This is James Elliott, number 2. Where he goes, familiar sort of bum cam we're going with.
Yeah, the traction control kind of kicking in. These bikes have got as much electronics on as the super bikes, particularly these. Michael Dunlop, not so good there. It kind of died on him a little bit, so Dunlop gets underway. This is the 2014 bike, the bike that he won this race on last year.
Yeah, just about to stick it into top gear over the top of St Ninians. Bruce Anstey, number 5. The problem with this bike is it's just slightly long in the tooth and a little bit down on power in Superstock trim, probably about 15 brake horse down on the BMs and the Kawasaki, Steve.
Yeah, we say in Superbike trim it doesn't matter so much because they tune these engines, but these are standard road engines with an exhaust pipe on them and a few other little mods. Number 7 about to get underway, Gary Johnson on the GB Moto Kawasaki.
Yeah, it's a class that Gary's done well in before. In fact, he was leading it last year when he tipped off at Waterworks there.
Yeah, and that was a big accident, actually. We say tip off, but he hurt his shoulder quite badly. He's got over it now. We ride with him down through Bray Hill, and you can hear that engine note not backing off one little bit. And woof, through that about 60 miles an hour underneath the screen. It is just extraordinary to watch. He's got up for breakfast, and this is his first job.
This will be Michael Dunlop by the look of it. It is the number 3 BMW. This is his last year's bike. There's been quite a lot of changes, 14 to 15 in this S1000RR BMW, but he knows this bike. It's set up, it's the one he won on last year.
You can see it's a road bike. There's the key in the ignition, wired in just so they don't drop it at the fuel stops, because they need that to open the fuel cap almost certainly. Look at that, through Grieber Castle there, right to the edge. Number 9, Hutchie, through the bumps at Union Mills.
Yeah, Hutchie on the PBM Kawasaki, the ZX10, about just shy of 200 horsepower, these Superstock bikes.
On treaded tyres.
Yep, there's John McGuinness. He's been caught now by James Hillier, so he's down on time on James Hillier already. He's John McGuinness.
Yeah, Hillier second though. Hillier is into second place, and he goes past McGuinness, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was, and you would expect the Kawasaki that Hillier's on to be quicker than the Fireblade Honda on the longer, straighter bits of this track.
Into Selby Bridge. And there they come, wriggling around the number 2 bike there of Hillier, and behind him McGuinness, of course, through Ginger Hall. And Ness is coming down to Kirkmichael. This is Lee Johnston. He is in 5th position, head down. He's trying to keep his head down, he's being bumped out.
Bruce Anstey on the Fireblade. We know how smooth this guy is around here. The Kiwi, known to be one of the smoothest riders around this track, and the Fireblade, we know how well that works. We're on board with Ian Hutchinson. He's in Ramsey. This is a bumpy part of track, this, Steve.
Yeah, you can see it really is. The bike using all that, you can actually hear it kind of bouncing over the bumps up to Ramsey hairpin. And Dunlop has a 2.14 second lead over Hutchinson. Hillier there and Guy Martin in 4th. Staying with Hutchie.
Yeah, this is up towards the waterworks. In and out of the trees, a bit difficult sometimes. You don't know whether to put a dark visor on or a light one.
But at the bungalow, number 2, James Hillier on the Cottrell plant machine is in 3rd place. Michael Dunlop, same place, climbing over the tram lines. He'll go up the hill. Look at the chain moving around on the bumps on the BMW.
Yeah, and this, remember, is your leader. Well, it was at Ramsey hairpin anyway. Round up towards the highest part of the track. This is Brandywell. Off the power, on the brakes, tip it in.
These bikes gobble up the fuel. That's going to be another issue in this race.
Now that we're riding with Gary Johnson, he set off number 7. Here we go. Oh, and that will be Guy Martin, number 8. So he's 10 seconds up on Johnson. I can tell you that Guy Martin is now a bit of a wave of leg to say sorry there to Gary. But I can tell you that he's closing James Hillier down for 3rd now as Guy. Guy's going good.
Yeah, really, really good. Climbing the mountain, that fantastic view. Looking back at Ramsey there, the blue sea flies here on Michael Dunlop. Number 3, as still he leads. He looks to take the trying to get the tear off. Well, he was trying to get the tear off, unless it was misting up. He was opening his visor a bit.
Yeah, I think he must have missed the tab to put. That's him. That's Michael Dunlop going past John McGuinness. Oh, not now. Well, definitely a safer option. He's got him now. This is going down towards Hilbury. The BMW was quicker than the Honda down there. You'd expect that, to be honest.
Yeah, you would actually. There's about 20 horsepower difference there. Michael Dunlop, they both go through Hilbury. Back with Guy Martin. There he is, number 8 at the bungalow, being chased by, well, he's obviously passed number 7 there, Gary Johnson.
Yeah, 10 seconds up on Johnson on time, but this is the man who's on the charge. This is Ian Hutchinson, number 9. That lead of Michael Dunlop's must be down now.
Yeah, well, we'll get a split, obviously, down at the grandstand. So Ian Hutchinson, the man that won the Super Sport race prior to this, he's really back on form and he'd like to win the big class.
Well, that's Hillier through a start finish. Lifting his backside up this way. See, as he goes over St Ninians, you've got to do that because the bike's got to move around underneath. You can see how hard they're working, these guys. The legs are getting a real workout.
Yeah, standing on the footrest and go through there. Yeah, it really is something rather special. Over the line, and he's sitting now in 4th.
Yeah, but Dunlop's nearly caught Hillier on the road. Here's Hutchinson.
Hutchinson and Dunlop, who's it going to be as they go over to start the 2nd lap?
It's just Dunlop.
Just
Dunlop by 1.6 seconds. Hutchinson has closed him down around about a second in half a lap.
Well, we have got a race on our hands here. Now, another lap. At the end of this lap, of course, they'll stop for fuel. Let's have a look exactly what it is. There's confirmation. 1.6 seconds Dunlop has over Hutchinson. Lap 2, and there it is, number 13, Lee Johnson. He's in 4th place. Number 10, Connor Cummins, and Dean Harrison there. He's in 11th. This is who we're on board with now. Dean Harrison on the Martrain Yamaha.
Yeah, the brand new R1. I'll say struggling, but just not probably going as well as he thought he might. This is Michael Dunlop.
Yeah, Michael Dunlop still in front, but word is that he's getting closed down, isn't he? Hutchie is closing him down.
Yeah, that will be, yeah, look at him. This is number 2 behind him. That's James Hillier just tagging on to Dunlop. He's going to do his race. Power are good, tagging on to this man.
Yeah, a pretty good target to follow, but it's quite amazing that Michael Dunlop, he said earlier, he's been beaten up a little bit. Number 7.
Gary Johnson. And Gary having a look back there, I don't know quite what's this. Well, it's slow. It's obviously slow.
Yeah,
I don't know quite
out,
what's,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's definitely retiring. This is into Parliament Square in Ramsey, and I don't see him going much further.
No, Marshall's yellow flag about to come out. He's pulled out. Unfortunate. The man that was doing so well last year when he crashed out just up the road, in fact, was going.
Well, at least he's near shops. Maybe get himself a bottle of water, or maybe a pint. Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. Number 8, Guy Martin, and Hutchie right behind him. He's caught those 10 seconds up.
Yeah, look, Hutchinson's index finger on the front brake.
Right-hand gear change, you can see the gear lever there, suspension all moving around. Tyres looking good, but at the end of this lap, I wonder if he's going to change. One or two of them will change, some won't in the Superstocks.
Well, this man's your leader, but certainly Ian Hutchinson, number 9, he's closing him down. He's not by a lot, but just every single timing point. This is just before the bungalow.
Yeah, we'll get a point at the bungalow where we'll get an indication. A few clouds around. It's cool up the mountain here. It's lovely and sunny down the bottom. And there he comes. Hillier's just lost a little bit of ground there, trying to chase Michael Dunlop, number 3, through there, using up all the road again. And now the word is that it's just 0.373 seconds advantage he has over this man we're riding with now, Ian Hutchinson.
Yep. Guy Martin sticking on to Hutchie. Different lines, look, completely different lines. Must be a metre difference, which you'd never get on a short circuit. Guy's hanging on pretty well, I think.
He is. He's closing him down in certain places, so they climb up the hill. Hayward's rise up to the top, the highest part of the course, and then it will be Brandywell.
So this is the man on the move, Ian Hutchinson, on the PBM Kawasaki.
Up on the mountain, there's the helicopter, the Squirrel helicopter. He's only got top speed of about 140 miles an hour. It can't stay with these bikes unless it's in a dive, and it often is. Lee Johnston, number 13. He's up to 4th place. A really good ride from him.
Yeah, really, really good. This is his 4th year at the TT, and he says he's ready to sort of step up a little bit, and he's certainly doing that.
On board with Guy Martin on the Tyco BMW. Of course, last year riding Suzuki, we thought the BMW would be a lot better. It's not proven it at this point.
Yeah, he's actually quite enjoying riding the Superstocker. This is on his run down the mountain. He's on the sort of 30th windy corner, 33rd, going down towards Keppel Gate. And that's he's still tagging on to Hutchinson. You can see him lifting the backsides off the seat. This is run down towards Craig now.
Arguably, the BMW looks like it's riding the bumps a bit better, in fairness to Hutchie. Guy Martin again just misses the apex a tiny bit. Hutchie gets on the power, driving down the hill. Oh, that was a miss there.
That'll be fuel. They're coming in for fuel this lap, and yeah, the Kawasaki of Hutchinson is definitely spluttering for fuel. They're right on the limit, these Superstock bikes, 24-litre tank, and they all struggle.
So this is going to make it close, because Hutchinson might have lost some time there. We'll find out in a minute. Into the pits they go. Michael Dunlop coming down there. He's got to get down. Look at the back wheel up in there. He goes for the pit lane limiter, 60 kilometres an hour. Behind him, Hillier number 2. Fuel cap comes off, fuel goes in.
Yeah,
are they going to? Some will change tyres, some won't.
Yeah, and it's unusual to change a tyre on a stocker just because it's very difficult to do that with a standard setup rear wheel. In the case of Michael has. No, it looks a good stop. Resetting the pit lane speed limiter there.
This is crucial, and Hillier right beside him. He lets him go. Look at that. James Hillier said, "I'll follow you."
Yeah, because he knows he needs that him to tag on to. Now then, Hutchinson, let's have a look. And they're going to go. They are going to go for a tyre.
Yeah, they are. And it's not easy on a Superstock bike. They've got no quick release stuff. There's lots of spaces and everything else.
You can see that the caliper's wide on up there, Steve. See it?
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Very careful. One space, it falls off and rolls past Ian. He's not going to be happy.
It's about 56 seconds. Is a good stop, and it is a good stop. Terrific brand new tyre in the back there. Not just for grip, it's grip as well as fuel consumption. More grip. Michael Rutter, number 4, goes out behind him. That'll be a good tow for Michael Rutter to try and stay. Oh, nightmare for Guy Martin. The bike won't start. It should go on the button. What is going on there? It's normally 50-odd seconds. He's lost 20 seconds. Anyway, Steve Plater's going to give us an update.
Halfway point of the RL 360 Superstock race here in pit lane. All the action's happening. Mickey D is just leading the race by 1.5 seconds in front of Ian Hutchinson, who's chasing hard. But in pit lane, Hutchie was much faster, even though changing a rear wheel, putting a new tyre in, he was 4 seconds faster in pit lane.
And a good job that team did putting that rear tyre in. We've got 2 laps to go of this, the Superstock race. And here they are hurtling down. There it is, number 5, Bruce Anstey. Right behind him is Hutchie underneath the screen. And there is Michael Rutter, number 4.
Yeah, Michael's down on time, obviously. Michael Rutter, Bruce Anstey. We might just see Ian Hutchinson. At this point, you'd expect the Kawasaki, the PBM bike, to be a little bit quicker. There he goes. That's on the brake, so that was nothing to do with power. This is down into Ballacrane. 90
Nicely
right
done.
under. Yeah, very nice.
Lift his leg up a little bit up the top to Ballaspur. There is the gap, and he's made a bit of time there. 2.7 seconds there is between Hutchie and Dunlop. Hillier, Johnston and Martin down the bottom there.
Yeah, most of that time, you know, was picked up in the pits, I reckon. If Steve was right, and it was 4 seconds quicker.
And most of that time that Guy Martin's dropped that back, is that for the time that he lost trying to start the bike?
Correct, yeah. There you go, that's 16, Dave Johnson, the lad from Adelaide. He's having a good run down to about 8th position. I'm not sure it's warm enough to have your shirt off, but there you go. This is number 3, Dunlop again. And he's got to be feeling it, Steve.
Yeah, you have to be. He's been bounced up the road, hasn't he? You know, there was a second gear corner.
Yeah, and you can just see how physical it is. You know, he's a big, strong lad, but if you've had a whack, you've got to be aching. Hutchinson on his own now. Broken free of Bruce Anstey.
That left leg sticking out, we know it's injured still. I mean, what this guy's gone through, we are really so pleased that he's having it all his own way at the moment.
He's not so much injured, it's just stiff, you know, his ankle doesn't move so much. It's and a good shot. Dunlop off the power, finger on the brakes. Lifts his backside off the seat just to let the bike move around underneath him over the bumps.
And you can see the focus in those eyes looking up the road. A lot of, like I say, just feathering that front brake. Up to the hairpin at Ramsey, and we're going to get another indication. Oh, it's all going out now. Hutchinson is really on it. 6 seconds, over 6 seconds. Hillier, Johnston, Hickman there.
Yeah, that's a good run from Hickman. Remember, it's his 2nd year here.
Here's Lee Johnston, number 13 on the East Coast Racing Machine. Tear-off comes off as he tries to get on the brakes. Look at that Selby speed trap record there, 191.19 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's a speed trap record for super stock bikes, remember. That's only 4 miles an hour slower than the super bikes on a stock machine.
Yeah, that's straight out the showroom as such. Right, on board with Michael now. He's having a look over his shoulder. I think he's worked it out. It's not going to happen for him. Well, that is the 2014 bike, in fairness to him. Hutchie's changed that tyre. It all seems to be going his way.
And he's going to be tired. Hillier's still clinging on to Michael Dunlop. And I'm not sure how that's Hutchie climbing the mountain. He's about a minute behind him.
He'll be thinking, we know he'll be thinking about fuel. It ran out at the start on the first 2 laps and they filled it to the brim.
Number 77, this is Matthew Reith, the Aberdeen lad. Privateer, going pretty well actually, I've got to say. Did the Manx last year. Getting bounced around there, look.
He's not sure whether to put the brakes on or not. I don't blame him either, just steadying him. Over the line they go.
Starting the last lap. There's Dunlop and Hillier still with him.
Yeah. Oh, love, what a great shot from that curb cam there. Dunlop front wheel up in the air. Hillier having a nice tow. On board, Dean Harrison.
Yep, on the new R1 Yamaha.
Oh, and that's Hickman going past, number 17. He's in 5th position, so Hickman having a really good run. They flash through Hilby there. That's Hickman, Harrison and Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson, number 16, the Adelaide lad. He's having a good run as well. He's in 6th. Good run.
Oh, he's not now. Look, he's just nipped through there.
That's him. Yeah, he had to get past Dean Harrison. Harrison's only 11th.
Lap 4, and there it all is, and it's gone out to over 9 seconds. Hutchinson from Dunlop, Hillier, Johnston, Hickman and Dave Johnson there in 6th.
We're back with Michael Dunlop, and Hillier Hillier can always tag on to a faster rider, always, but I'm not sure actually whether Dunlop is going too slow for Hillier now.
Absolutely, because we can see that Hutchinson's really pulling away, so maybe Michael's slowing it. Could even slow Hillier down. So look at the speed that he's got carrying through there.
15's Dan Neen.
Yeah, on the other Paget's bike.
Yeah, down into Quarter Bridge. A lap to go for the Manxman from Braddon.
Having a great run there. He's in 12th position, so he's really having a good run. First time on the Paget's Honda.
This is Lee Johnston. He's having a great TT, and steady. That bike looks brilliant.
And he is now catching James Hillier, so that's close. A big jump there and a bit of a wobble from Michael Dunlop, and we're on him at the Wren Cullen. We'll stay on board with him now, and that's the thing tying itself in a knot.
It actually didn't look so bad from where he saw it as when we first saw it from the trackside camera.
And this is really getting close now. We have a race on this last lap between this man, number 13, Lee Johnson, and this man here, Hillier. Hillier, I think, needs to get past Dunlop. Actually, he is trying now.
He's actually realised he does, but it might be a little bit too late, because I can tell you, Lee Johnson's on a real charge. His sector times tell me that this is going to be way faster than he's ever been before. It looks like a 1:30 for Lee Johnston.
Yeah, it really does. Bruce Anstey still got Michael Rutter just behind him, who's obviously 10 seconds back. He started 10 seconds in front.
Good steady rider is Michael Rutter. This is White Gates. You've got a left-hander, second gear, then up towards what we call Stella Maris, and then the hairpin.
And it was that corner where last night, unfortunately, Keith A. Moore had a tumble. He's beaten up, but he'll be okay.
Oh, running out of fuel?
I don't know, but something not right, because it was sputtering, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know, you put the brakes onto the hairpin, it sloshes the fuel forward sometimes. It picks up Dave Johnson. Having a great ride in 7th.
On the Smith's racing machine.
Yeah.
It's got Smith's Triumph on it, but it's actually a BMW.
Looks a big lad on that BMW, does Dave. John McGuinness, and now Hutchinson has caught up, so they set off a long time. He can... this is... Yeah.
Now he's pointing. Do you know what? Hutchie's he's pointing at the fuel tank.
You think he is?
Yeah, I think he was probably wanting to follow John McGuinness to get the slipstream, but he's pointing at the fuel tank.
There's Guy Martin. And now he's gone past Bruce Anstey. And we know that Bruce Anstey's having fuel problems. We heard that.
Well, we said it would be an issue because you can't normally top them up quite as well at the pit stop as you can at the start of the race. This is all still going on there.
Yeah.
That is number 8, Guy Martin, Michael Rutter behind number 4. Bruce, who's got problems.
Yeah,
so
this is
Hutchie.
Ian Hutchinson.
And he's trying to roll it back as fast as...
This thing's he'll be spluttering by now. Oh, is he going?
Wow. Hutchie could have thrown that away.
Hang on.
It's missing. He's trying to coax it to the line. Do you know what, James? I think. Oh, wow!
Well, do you know what's happened? It's actually cut out and then cut back in, and that's what's thrown him wide.
And trying to roll it down the hill. Now this is so close. It's neck and neck between this man, Lee Johnson, number 13, and James Hillier. Who is it going to be at the line? Over the line goes number 2 there, James Hillier. But how fast has he been, and has he been beaten by Lee Johnston?
Well, under the clock will tell. I know he's had a good run down the mountain as Lee. This is your winner.
Wow, fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look at this race record time. He's blasted the race record by about 30 seconds.
There's Lee Johnston.
The clock will tell us who's got 3rd place. A lot of talk going on there.
That'll be Hutchie telling John McGuinness what he was trying to signal to him.
Here it is. The results are Ian Hutchinson wins his 10th TT. Michael Dunlop. Lee Johnson gets 3rd. James Hillier just back to 4th. Peter Hickman. And a good ride from David Johnson there on the BMW Smith's racing machine.
Yeah, what a race that was. The first 4 are underneath the existing race record, Steve.
Fantastic stuff. What a fabulous event. Hutchie is, look at that big old burnout going on down here. Terrific stuff. His 10th TT win. He is promptly back.
You've got to be pleased with that. You've got to be emotional, Liz.
Paul Bird is very pleased.
Hutchie, the dream continues, and an immaculate race from you, particularly, and I see your team around you. That pit stop was absolutely sensational. Tyre changed, and out there quick as you like.
Yeah, tyre change in a Superstock. I'm not sure anyone's really done it out of choice in the past, and we knew that the last lap was going to be hard and we'd have to possibly do it, and they rang me this morning at the house and said we're going for a wheel change, and I was panicking, but you know, Sam Neat is only a young lad, he's only 23, and I think if anyone's got a harder job than riding, it's the wheel change, and he did it perfect.
Michael, you're looking kind of physically in pain here. Now, if I was your mother, I'd be sending you home to bed. Are you going to be okay for the rest of the week?
I just need to have a long, hard think this evening and see where we're going to be. That's, you know, I mean, just such a pity, you know. We went good all week, you know, everyone was going to plan. And goes to show just one stupid setback can ruin your 2 weeks. So, but look, we're on the grid. That's the main thing, and just see how we got on.
Like a baby. Oh. All credit to the boys, like, bike is good, really good. For somebody my size to be fit to manhandle it for 4 laps, it needs to be set up well, so all credit to the boys.
I was running out of petrol coming down from the mountain and then come out of signpost into the next corner, and it cut out completely when I was fully leant over, and I nearly lost the front, stood it up, and there's like a little chamfered curb, so I just went for it up the curb onto the pavement, burned the bank, and it'll look absolutely ridiculous, but you know, I couldn't do anything about it because it had just cut out and it was barely making it to the line, so that would have been gutting to lose it by fuel.
Well, Michael Dunlop made his way very gingerly up to that podium. I have to say, physically, he does not look in great shape. Lee Johnson, though, other end of the scale, that fella is going to really enjoy these celebrations. He is going to be up on that podium a lot in the future. He is a star of the future. And currently a star of the TT, Ian Hutchinson, a great fight back story. He sprays the champagne once again. But how did he fare in the Supersport race? Well, the good news, folks, is the highlights of that one from last night are coming your way after this short break. Welcome back to the paddock here behind the grandstand of the Isle of Man TT, and we're in the Polberg Motorsport Garage, and this is it. What a sight. This is the machine that Ian Hutchinson won the Superstock TT. Look at that, flies and all. It really is an incredible story when you think what he's been through. Did the clean sweep here 5 years ago, then a horrendous accident at Silverstone. He thought he was going to lose his leg at one stage. He thought he may never ride at the TT again for a long, long time. But here he is. It seems the Bingley Bullet is back. Or did he come back a little bit earlier, perhaps yesterday, in the Supersport race? Shall we find out? This is what happened.
This is John McGuinness. He's been first down the road every race this year.
Well, the Jackson Honda. Once upon a time, John McGuinness didn't want anyone seeing his laps. Well, now he's pretty happy for someone to follow, actually, these days, sadly. But there goes number 2, Dean Harrison on the R6 Yamaha, the Mar Train machine. He's not had a good week. Let's hope it gets better for him.
Yep. He's Michael Dunlop, number 3 away.
Who started on a Yamaha this week. He's ended up on a Honda as he goes off towards the traffic lights at St Ninians, and this first lap is going to be imperative.
Yep, you've got to get off to a flying start. Nobody sort of eases away in these days at the TT. Race is going to be won and lost in the first half lap.
On board with Bruce Anstey, number 5, as he goes down over the lights, trying to get it all settled, a full tank of... Oh, my... Wow, that was a big moment for Bruce Anstey at about 130 miles an hour. Bruce Anstey, what are you doing? It's not like him at all. Let's have another look at that. Just look how close he gets. It is a close run there, but he's actually on the pavement at that point, at a building up to about 135, 140 miles an hour on the Supersport 600. Michael Dunlop, number 3, goes through on that CD Racing Honda.
Griever Castle, that corner is with Hutchinson looking back now. This is going up towards Balaguere as it tips in. Bellascari they call it.
Yeah, on the traction control machine, sponsored by Keith Flint, the prodigy man. Up towards Sarah's Cottage now. Bruce Anstey we're with. Craig Willis Hill coming up, and he'll be building. Look at this. It's left, right, all the way up. Bumpy as well.
This is a piece of the track where you're actually turning right when it looks like you should be turning left, and then same again.
Already passed.
Yeah, now this is Dean Harrison on the Mar Train Yamaha, already past John McGuinness. So he's already caught, what, best part of 11 seconds up on him there.
Out of the gooseneck, you see marks there from previous crashes, but they climb the gooseneck. Long shadows. Guy Martin over Belarf on the number 8. Smith's Triumph.
Yeah, he's actually going well on that thing. He just says it's taking him a little bit of time.
That was Hutchie going through that.
Yeah, so he's not going well enough to stay 10 seconds in front of Hutchinson, is it?
Yeah.
And we can tell you that the early leader is Gaz Johnson, number 7. On the other, the second. Yeah, that's him on the second Mar Train Yamaha.
On board with Michael Dunlop coming down into Signpost Corner. He's missed the apex. He's got it. Oh my goodness me, that was messy.
Yeah, he has to even look to pull back into what he might think is traffic coming his way. Well, it is Bruce Anstey. There goes. That's Bruce Anstey.
It is. Look at that knee on the ground through Bedstead Corner, coming down towards the Nook, and there is the...
This is Lee Johnson. He's already caught and passed the number 12 of Keith Amor. So he's already, 12 or 13 seconds in front of Keith now in one lap.
Lee Johnson on the East Coast Racing Triumph as well. Sounds real good. Over the start and finish line they go, and head off on another lap.
Yeah, we're looking back from Ian Hutchinson's traction control R6 Yamaha towards the triumph of Guy Martin. He's sticking with Hutchie now, his guy.
And there it is at the end of that lap. Hutchinson is well, look at that. It's neck and neck between him and Johnston. Anstey in third.
Yeah, well, actually, Hutch will start to see Johnston any time soon, you know, because they set off.
Harrison's out. Dean Harrison, I don't believe it. The Martrain R6 Yamaha's pulled over. This is Crosby.
That's Crosby section.
Oh, look at the speed through there.
Yeah, that'd be Don McGuinness going flashing through there. And Guy continues to tail Ian Hutchinson, although he is 10 seconds down on the Bingley boy.
Yeah, not a bad person to be following. Hutchie Formies in towards Union Mills. That was we saw them come through Braddon.
Yeah,
again, absolutely flat out. That's the breaking point. Oh, Bruce Hanstey, front wheel up in the air on the number 5 Paget's bike.
Yeah, that's a Balacry jump. I was a bit scared of that. I never landed straight off that one. We were riding with
Michael Dunlop, yeah. And that's not sounding right. That's not right. No,
he's not going right either. He's looking back. He knows he's got a problem keeping out the traffic.
So 2 of our front runners, Dean Harrison and Michael Dunlop, out now. That's London Road. He's coming up to it. Kurt Michael is going to pull out the way there.
It is. You need to get off because you can see the differential in speed, and that will be Bruce Anstey going flashing past, I think, there.
Yeah.
This is James Hillier. Not his strong suit isn't the super sport bikes. Loves the bigger bikes with a little bit more power, better. But holding top 10. Just watch. Off the throttle, on the throttle. You saw him squeeze the brake a little bit. Hutchinson and Guy Martin at the gooseneck. They've been together for over a lap now.
Yeah, climb up the hill there. The Triumph, of course, was the winning bike here last year with Gary Johnson on it.
Yeah, that's the Honda of Connor Cummins, already been passed by Gaz Johnson. Gaz going really, really well on this super sport bike.
As they climb up there, you can see Guy Martin in the slipstream, but as you said, 10 seconds back, so he's got a lot of time to make up. Ian Hutchinson is the man that's putting the pressure on now. I think he's extended that lead a tiny bit.
He has, yeah. It looks like Hutchie is leading this race. We'll get a better idea when they go over the start and finish. Well, actually come in for the fuel at the end of this lap. Look at that. Old style of Hutchie still there.
Through the bungalow they'll go, up the climb, lots of people up on the mountain in these fantastic conditions. Oh, we're going to get a split here now. Hutchinson is extended it, 3.58 seconds he has.
That's at the bungalow. Yeah, and the rider said that these super sport bikes feel really slow coming up at the bungalow. That's 140 brake horsepower, but compared to the super bikes, and even the super stock bikes now at the best part of 200, these little middleweight 600cc bikes feel a bit steady.
Lee Johnson going really good on that East Coast Racing Triumph. He's actually getting faster and faster. You saw his pit board come out.
Yep. His dad pit boards for him, as other people do. He's got about 5 signallers around the track, like most of these top riders have. Into the pits. This is John McGuinness coming in for a fuel stop. This will be a good one. It always is with John.
Yeah, Bruce comes in as well. The Paget's team are normally pretty hot as well. No rear tyre going in. It's just cleaning the screen, take the rip-off off and fuel in.
Yeah, this is Connor Cummins. He's in, number 10, and Guy Martin. Fuel cap off. They've got a rag ready because they've got to fill these bikes right to the gunnels. That means it's going to splash over a little bit and need a rag ready just to soak up any excess.
Yeah, 60 kilometres now, and anything more you are penalised by 30 seconds. You can see the boys talking to Hutchie, telling him he's got an advantage. We'll get a split in a minute, but it's about 4 or 5 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, this is Guy just on his way out.
Leathers are undone.
Yeah.
Right. Left arm, his leathers are undone, so that might slow him a bit.
You'd never know Guy, would you?
Well, at the end of lap 2, you can see it's close. Anstey just 2.49 behind Hutchinson. 2 laps to go, and it is closer at the top, and you're going to see that there it is. Hutchinson has a 2.5 second lead over Anstey. Johnson and Martin in 4th, but we're hearing Guy Martin got a 30-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Bruce Anstey there on board.
Yeah, Bruce Anstey sneaking past his mate John McGuinness. This is Hutchie, and Guy Martin still stuck to his tail. This is Glen Ellen section. Look at that knee on the deck. That's Glen Ellen 2. This is the last part of Glen Ellen, up the hill towards Sarah's cottage.
Yeah, lovely corner that is there now, and we come hurtling through. Bruce Anstey, you can see there, John McGuinness trying to stay with him, the number 1 bike. Up to Quarry Bends, they are very, very fast now, and it's absolutely vital to get it right on the exit to carry the speed down that long Sulby straight where the speed trap is.
Yeah, absolutely, especially on these smaller bites. Get everything tucked in. This is Gary Johnson, same spot. Looks quick on the Martrain Yamaha. Now then, this looks fruity. 11, Cam Donald, 14, Michael Rutter, and 15, Dan Nean in their personal battle. That's around 10th place we're looking at.
Superb stuff. Here is your leader. It was 2.5 seconds before. Is he stretching that out? Guy Martin did a good job on the Smith Strum, hanging on the back of Hutchie.
He is, but I'm not sure that Guy Martin will actually know he's got that 30-second pit lane speed penalty.
No.
So, I mean, well, that's going to drop him right down the order. He's pushing on as well, clinging on to the back of Hutchie. This is Gaz Johnson up on the mountain. This is the veranda section. Run about 150 miles an hour at this point.
Yeah, all taken as one big corner there, tucked in. Look, he lifts his bum up on the seat, trying to get this head buried underneath the screen. This is
now then, battle, it's all changed down, Steve. This is Dan Nean has got to the front of that little trio. Behind him, 14 is Michael Rutter, and then Cam Donald's been dropped off a little bit. So the leading to that battle is a battle for 10th place. Hutchie again, Guy Martin again.
Yeah, as we come down Kate's Cottage down towards the Craig, front big wheelie there from Hutchie as he tries to do that. Guy Martin on the brakes.
I tell you what, Guy Martin's Triumph is quicker than the traction control Yamaha, looks like to me. Guy Martin misses it slightly, but he's pushing on to stick with Hutchie.
What a lovely sound from that 3-cylinder 675. Bruce Anstey, a better line this time down Bray Hill.
Yeah, it needed to be, didn't it?
That was scary.
Yeah.
How fast is that? Over the line to go. That'll be Hutchie and Guy Martin. And we'll get an indication of what's going on. So they're starting their last lap, and there it is, and it's stretched out now. It's a 6-second lead. Hutchie has over Anstey.
Yeah,
Johnson there in third.
Yeah, you can see Guy Martin's dropped out of that top 4 leaderboard now with that penalty he incurred in the pits. Look at that. Lots of this track flat out. There's Dan Nean. Still with Michael stuck behind him, and Cam Donald's clinging on now and got caught by the pair of them.
Rutter is in the Paget sandwich, on board with Ian Hutchison, down through the gears. This is down to the bungalow, over the bumpy section there at the railway line.
He's dropping off, Guy Martin now. Here we go. This is James Hillier, now being caught on the road by Ulsterman Lee Johnston. He's having a good ride.
Superb ride, isn't he? Over the line goes Bruce Anstey. And we're on board with Ian Hutchinson. He is back. Hutchie is back. He's going to take his 9th TT win. Over there, number 1, John McGuinness. But there he is, right behind him. And how pleased is he going to be? And so is everyone else. He's had 5 years of nightmares, and he has got his other TT win, and there's probably more to come.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been through as much as Ian Hutchinson has in the last 5 years to get back to this point.
And there it is, confirmation. Ian Hutchison takes his 9th TT win on that Yamaha. Bruce Anstey 2nd, Gary Johnson 3rd. Lee Johnson, terrific ride for him on the Triumph. But what about this man? Here he goes. Number 9, Hutchie. What a fantastic race for him.
Now you want a proper kiss, don't you? Magic goes up straight to it, the man of course the team boys goes. Right?
I think I put a lot of pressure on myself on the first race, and it's been 5 years since I've raced competitively, and you know, I led the first 4 laps of that other race, and just, I don't know, it wasn't the day for me, but today I just felt so in control from the start, and I really enjoyed riding, and I don't want to sound cocky, but I was pretty much cruising.
Great race. I gave it all I had. Top of Bray Hill, hit the curb. Big tank slap. I thought it was all over, so I just calmed myself down that first lap. It was a little bit rusty, but slowly got into it. My 3rd and 4th lap were good, but one good enough to beat Hutchie.
Obviously, last time I was sat here, I was laid on the deck. Yesterday I was laid on the deck. You know, it's lovely to be back on the podium.
If I start listing the people that have been involved with saving my leg, it'd be huge. But, you know, from the staff at BSB that collected me from the side of the track, the air ambulance that took me to a decent hospital, and all the staff and nurses on the wards at Coventry, Bradford, Royal Infirmary, the surgeons that worked on my leg. Thank you, everybody.
Well, there you go. What a brilliant show that was. Seriously, great racing today. Round it all up, boys. What are your thoughts?
Hutchie, what can you say? Mega comeback, you know, really proved his point, under pressure as well. Also, for me, the podium was filled with some great other people like Gaz Johnson coming back from a crash, and of course, Lee Johnson.
Yeah, Lee Johnson, he's been the find of the TT so far for us. We all like him, quirky little fella, dead funny, dead cheeky. He's a bit of a slap sometimes, but yeah, he's having a great TT, he really is.
Says the quirky, cheeky little fella. There you go.
For me, the hero of the day was Sam Neat, the mechanic that put that wheel in on Hutchie's bike, because I think that probably saved the day. And it just wasn't about the grip in the corners, it was also about the wheel spin, because he was so near out of fuel. Had he have not had a new tyre, I think the spinning up, probably he would have run out of fuel.
One fella who looked absolutely banjoxed was Michael Dunlop. I'm kind of concerned for him. Are we going to see him the rest of this week? What do you think, lads?
Understandably, the man's had a massive whack. You've only just got to see him walk to his machine to know that he's had a fair whack. He's a strong lad as well.
You'd understand if he said, you know something, I'm going home, I'm going to rest up. You could understand that, but it's not really in the Dunlop psyche.
You're talking about Michael Dunlop here. Really, I'm surprised that Williams, he might even come back in the next few days. I mean,
It wouldn't surprise me if he misses the Supersport race tomorrow.
To concentrate on
on the senior, yeah. Fair enough. It was brilliant though. I hope you all enjoyed it at home. Really good day's racing in the Isle of Man. The good news is there's more of it coming your way tomorrow. The second Super Sport race is our feature race. ITV4 from 9 o'clock from all the boys here and all this scruffy lot here.